The slowdown in Toronto's real estate market continues. How bad was it, and what's in store for us ahead? Stick around and find out as we review what happened in November, right here, right now. The Toronto real estate market is sinking like it's tied to a concrete block in the middle of Lake Ontario. Alright, maybe it's not that bad, but it is slowing down considerably compared to Q1 and Q2. Now, there are signs that the market is holding on for dear life, but the question is, for how long? And I'll get to that in a bit. Now, right off the top, there's a silver lining in all this. Despite the slowdown, the average price for a home in Toronto remains slightly above $1 million. For the most part, this signals that demand is still high, so that's good news. Until we look at the rest of the data, which isn't so hot. The average price in Toronto reported by the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board for the month of November hit $1,051,180, which is a decrease of 6.8% month over month. It held relatively steady year over year with an increase of 0.04%. Compared to 2021, it's down 4.2%. And interestingly enough, when compared to 2020, it's actually up 7.3%. Now let's look at the number of new listings. TREB recorded 4,184 new listings in November, a decrease of 26.3% from October, but it's an increase of 17.5% year over year. When compared to 2021, it's down 1.5%, and for those curious, it's down 18.1% from 2020. There were 1,607 properties sold in November, which is a decrease of 12.5% month over month and a decrease of 10.6% year over year. These are modest decreases considering the slowdown, but when compared to 2021, sales decreased a whopping 55.2%. And compared to 2020, it's down 47%. This, in my opinion, is a red flag. Now let's drill down into different housing types and analyze how each segment performed. First, let's look at detached homes, where the average price in November was recorded at $1,617,918. This is down 5.8% from October and up 3.7% year over year. But compared to 2021, it's down 10.5%. There were 461 detached homes sold last month, down 21.3% month over month, and down 14.9% year over year. And it's also down 49.8% compared to 2021. Next, we'll look at semi-detached homes. But before we do, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in Toronto, including real estate plus all the great stuff to do in the city, then subscribe and tap that bell so you can be the first to know about everything Toronto. Moving on, the average price of a semi-detached home in November was recorded at $1,217,811. This is down 4.7% from October and up 2.6% year over year, but it's a decrease of 15% compared to 2021. There were 168 semi-detached homes sold last month, down 13.4% month over month, and down 0.6% year over year. It's also down 40.6% compared to 2021. Next, the average price of townhomes hit $962,335. This is the lowest it's been all year. It equates to a decrease of 5.4% month over month and a decrease of 3.3% year over year. It's also down 2% compared to 2021. There were 140 townhomes sold last month, down 13.6% month over month and 21.3% year over year. And it's down a staggering 63.3% from November 2021. Lastly, let's look at condos, where the average price sank to its lowest level since January, hitting $720,280, a decrease of 1.2% month over month, and a decrease of 2% year over year. And it's also a decrease of 3.4% compared to 2021. There were 825 condos sold last month, a decrease of 6.6% month over month, and a decrease of 8.2% year over year. It also dropped 58.4% compared to 2021. So it's obvious things have slowed down quite a bit across the board. Yet despite the significant decreases in numbers, the average price continues to increase, slightly for that matter. But will this trend continue? Given that the BOC decided to hold interest rates steady once again, we may see things stay at an even keel for now. Now, let's remember, December is typically a very slow month in real estate, so I expect the decreases to continue, with the average price maybe decreasing a tad. It's most likely going to teeter around the million mark. But 2024 is a whole new ballgame, and things might get a bit dicey for a while. And here's why. As you may or may not know, we're in a technical recession, which means our economy has experienced 2 consecutive quarters of contracting economic output. In other words, our GDP has declined for 2 straight quarters. Yes, the declines are still very small at this point. This is why Canada is in a technical recession and not officially in a full-blown recession, but that's expected to change. Analysts from the big banks agree that Canada will enter a recession in 2024. And if you're thinking,
oh great, here we go, we're headed for trouble,
it's understandable. No one likes a recession, but there is some good news. With a recession comes opportunity, especially for those looking to build wealth. You see, assets, like homes, typically decrease in price during an economic downturn, like a recession. So for those of you looking for a bargain, you're going to get your chance. But for how long will this opportunity last? TD Bank recently discussed the state of the Canadian economy and summarized what could potentially happen in this neat little chart. It essentially outlines 3 possible outcomes. The first one is the best case scenario, which is a soft landing. This is where inflation returns to 2% with no recession. Considering where we're at today, there's a very low chance of this happening. Number 2 indicates the worst case scenario, stagflation. This is a period with high inflation, high unemployment, and low economic growth. This is considered worse than a recession because the dangers include both expenses and cost of living increasing at a time of high unemployment. And number 3, which they designated as the most likely scenario, a recession. But they reassured us that it would be a short-lived recession, resembling a V-shaped duration. So if the bank analysts are right, and they usually are, it will be a painful period, but only for a short period of time. But again, the benefit in all this is that during this quick recession, investors and homebuyers looking to build wealth and assets will have an opportunity to purchase property at prices lower than we've seen in recent years. And for those of you sitting on the sidelines waiting for the ball to drop, well, it's expected to happen in the new year. But be ready, because according to the analysts, the window of opportunity may be short-lived. And there you have it, Toronto's market update for this month. And remember, if you're thinking of moving to or leaving Toronto, reach out to us anytime. Every day we get calls from people just like you planning their Toronto move. Whether you're moving in 3 days or in 3 months, we got you covered. Our team is dedicated to providing tailored solutions that match your needs and timeline to help make your move easy and stress-free. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and liking this video. And don't forget to tap that bell. And remember, if you're planning a move, feel free to give us a call, send us a text, or drop us an email. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.